we are going to continue now with the third stage, differentiation and positioning. Okay, so first what we call by product position. It is the why the product is defined by the target consumers on the most important attributes. In other words, is the place the product occupies in the minds of the consumers and always relative to competing products. And by differentiation, we understand to make the offering different from competitors in the mind of consumers also, with the idea of creating superior customer value. And both positioning and differentiation should be based on competitive advantages of the company, because otherwise they will not be sustainable in the time. It is very important to understand that once a brand has occupied a position in the mind of the customers, this position is very, very persistent. And we are going to see that with two different examples. If I asked you what is the safest car maker, the safest brand in the car maker segment, many of you probably would say that, let me see, that the safest car maker, I don't know, I cannot, yeah, here, is Volvo, okay? And why? Because Volvo has, during many years, been focusing, trying to position itself as the most safe brand in the market. So for many years, they have used like this, they are safe cars, of course, but they have tried to communicate also clearly to the market, okay? So you have here some examples of Volvo ads communicating this. Typically, no one says that, for example, Renault is the safest car maker. But if we look at, let's say, real data, Renault, for example, is, at the time of this example at least, the only car maker who had obtained the maximum 5-star rating of on 12 occasions, more than Volvo. Or one of the models, Renault Laguna 2, it's not anymore in the market, but for the example is good, was the first ever vehicle to achieve a 5-star rating in the Euro NCAP safety assessment tests, so before than any Volvo car, and that the Renault Grand Scenic has become the 12th model of Renault getting this level, the 5-star rating, okay, more than any Volvo. But still, most of the people perceive or think that Volvo is the safest car maker and not Renault. So Volvo is very well positioned in the safety area, BMW probably in the performance, and Mercedes in the luxury. Another example, okay, what do you think is the best anti-wrinkle and moisturizer cream brand on the market? Okay, you probably would say brands like L'Oreal or Shiseido, or even more expensive brands. But if we look at, let's say, real data here, okay, according to an analysis done by experts in the lab, an analysis done by the Organización de Consumidores y Usuarios, which is a Spanish consumer organization, the best anti-wrinkle cream and the best moisturizer cream are both of this brand, 100, which is the store brand of Lidl, with prices, with very, very low prices, okay? So for example, this cream has a price of $2.99, and this other cream, the same price, much less than other expensive brands. How can I go here? Yeah. So let me see. I'm going using this. Here we can see other creams. I mean, this is neither very expensive compared to others, but I mean, this is better and much less expensive. But the question here is that, where is this? Is that, I mean, many consumers still think or still don't think better that the Lidl cream is better than other more expensive creams. Why? I mean, because the positioning maps, we are talking here about positioning maps, but we still have not explained that. So sorry, I'm not going to talk about positioning maps here, okay? A positioning map or a perceptual map is a map, usually a two-dimensional map or graph that shows the consumer perceptions of different brands versus competing products on important buying dimensions. Okay? We have some examples here. This is a positioning map or milk brands. So here we have like the more expensive brands and the brands with a more natural origin. So we have here like Asturiana, for example. We have here brands with lower price and with more, let's say, I mean, more nutritious components. So we would have in this side like RAM, PMI, or Clesan. In this other side, Pascual, Puleva, and Kaiku also. So, I mean, different brands occupying different positions in the minds of consumers, because probably this graph comes after surveying consumers and asking them what do they think about different brands. This would be a positioning map of cosmetics. Okay, we don't have here the Lidl brand, but probably most consumers would think that, I mean, most of these creams would be better than the Lidl cream. So why is not the Lidl cream here? I mean, because this is a positioning map. This is a perceptual map. This is not a map done by experts in a laboratory. Okay, so this is the difference. A positioning map is how consumers perceive the brands in their minds, while an analysis done by experts in a laboratory gives you like more objective measures. But at the end, what is important is what consumers think. So this is where marketing should try to make a change. And this will be an example of TV channels, of video conferencing solutions. Okay, like for example, we have here Zoom, the tool we are using now, or the Microsoft Teams, for example. But also, I mean, many companies have video conferencing software. And here there is like a, let's say, map in which these are classified into the completeness of vision, like more complete solutions, and the ability to execute. Okay, so for example, the best here, the leaders are Cisco, that was typically used for many years before the pandemic, Microsoft, that purchased Skype and then used that to launch Microsoft Teams, and a new entrant, Zoom. Okay, we are going to pass this. Then, okay, how to develop a differentiation and positioning strategy? Okay, there are many, two main stages. The first one will be to decide, to choose the position we want to occupy in the mind of our target customers. Okay? And the second one to be to communicate and to deliver this position to the market. And we will see how. For choosing a position, we have to first identify the set of possible competitive advantages we have in our company to build a position. Second, to choose the right ones, because there may be more than one, but as we will see later, typically it is interesting not to choose many, then to select the overall positioning strategy and to develop a positioning statement. Okay, so let's go to the first, to identify a set of possible competitive advantages to build a position. Okay, so let's remind, what is a competitive advantage? It's an advantage a company has over competitors gained by offering consumers in the market greater value by different ways. For example, by lower prices or by more benefits that justify higher prices, or by providing some benefits that are not offered by other competitors. For example, okay, if you sell scissors, you have a lot of competition, but if you offer scissors for left-handed people, then you suddenly has much less competition. Okay, so that would be an example of differentiation. Okay, then we have to identify a set of possible competitive advantages to build this position. So we can use, for example, the product. We can differentiate our offering with our product, with the added services, through the channel we use to reach the target consumers. We can use our employees, and we also can use our image to differentiate from competitors. You have here different ways of differentiating from different dimensions you can use to differentiate from competitors through the product, service, or personnel. So you can, for example, launch a new version, or be the best in delivering, or has a personnel which is very, let's say, courtesy. Okay. Through the channel, you can be, for example, the company with the highest coverage in the market, and then consumers will find you in the stores very easily. And through image, you can use like very, let's say, symbols, and that call the attention of consumers more than your competitors. You can use also the atmosphere or the point of sale, for example, of the hotel or a restaurant, and even events to associate your brand with the with the events, or with the company sponsoring these events. Then you have to choose, the right competitive advantage. You cannot try to be the best in all these product dimensions, all these service, personnel, and channel and image. You cannot really try to be the best on all things at the same time. The best idea is to choose whether one or a small number of competitive advantages to develop a differentiation. Okay, so there are some reasons to choose only one. This is called unique selling proposition, and the idea is to choose an attribute or a dimension and to be the best on that dimension or attribute. This has the advantage of being easy to remember and easy to to be credible by consumers. So, for example, a big brand like Colgate says that is the brand number one recommended by dentists, and they don't say anything more. They don't say that at the same time they have, I don't know, they do many other things at the same time. Okay? Okay, sometimes you can use more than one, but you have to take care. Why? Because these advantages that would be the base for differentiation should be compatible between them. For example, you can at the same time offer a drink with zero caffeine and sugar, okay, quite credible, or compatible, sorry, and also credible by consumers. Okay, so this is related to what I said before. You can't be the best in everything, and they will not believe you. Consumers will not believe you, and your message shouldn't be confusing. So this happens when you try to communicate many advantages at the same time. Okay, at the end, your message can be confusing, difficult to remember, and maybe not credible by consumer. So here we have an example of a product which is at the same time softer, smoother, and more refreshed than others, a cream. Okay, the differences to promote based on competitive advantages should have all the requirements, which are very like intuitive. Okay, important, of course, distinctive from competitors, superior to other differences. You could use easy to communicate, preemptive in the sense that they make it difficult for competitors to imitate, affordable for consumers, and profitable for the company. Okay, this is the explanation of this. So these are examples of companies or brands that are different from competitors, for example, because they have like many different versions that each of them like providing a different benefit, like aspirin in tablets, in effervescence, and so on. This is an example I like. For example, the batteries Duracell. I mean, the name is very distinctive. It's related to the duration. Then the communication campaign with the small rabbit saying, I mean, keeps going and going and going, and also saying that these batteries last up to 4 times longer. And also you can watch this video in which the rabbit there is like a race, and the rabbit finishes the race because I mean it has enough energy to reach the end, whereas other runners stop because they finish their energy. That would be an example of service differentiation. El Corte Inglés is a Spanish retailer that offers many services to consumers. It's typically of a higher price than competitors. And the most, let's say, definitive service is the money back guarantee. Okay, so money back guarantee means that if you are not happy, you can return your product. This is more very common now, but El Corte Inglés have been doing this for decades. Caterpillar is famous because in many countries it has like I mean very good service, and the dealers provide this service in a very efficient way to consumers, to customers. It's very important because once you buy one of these machines, which are very expensive, you don't want that if it breaks, I mean, it cannot be repaired in weeks. So you want it to be repaired like very soon, because otherwise you are losing a lot of money. People differentiation. I mean, I leave for you to watch this ad, and you will see that, I mean, how in the case of dentists, the sympathy, the courtesy of the dentist might be very important for patients, because I mean, especially because many of them are very afraid of dentists. Image or atmosphere differentiation. The Hard Rock Cafe has a very, let's say, like a special atmosphere. And if you go there, you go mainly for this atmosphere more than for the food itself. Or the colors. In Spain, for example, we have three main telecom companies, and each of them has its own color. Orange has the orange color, Vodafone is the red company, and Movistar is the blue company. And if you watch these videos, you will see that in the communication campaigns, Orange uses mainly the orange color, Vodafone the red color, and Movistar the blue color. And this happens in other sectors also. In banks, it happens also. Like the ING with the orange account, they use in their branches our office is also the orange color, okay? Because the star product of this company has been for many years the la cuenta naranja or the orange account. The idea here is that you have to be consistent, okay? You cannot use, let's say, a red color in your offices and in your communication the orange color. That will not be consistency. Then you have to select an overall positioning strategy. Okay, there are mainly 9 different overall positioning strategies combining, let's say, the price that can be more, the same, or less than competitors, and the benefits the same. So you can offer, if you are here in the green cells, you are, let's say, offering a better combination than your competitors. So these are winning value propositions. Okay, if you are in the red cells, you have offering losing value proposition. You are offering a worse combination than your competitors. So you might offer, for example, more benefits for more price. That's fine. You can offer more benefits for the same price as your competitors. That's a winning proposition. But the question here is that you can do this for a long time. And if you can offer more benefit than your competitors for a lower price, that's fantastic if you can do it. For this, you need probably a very good cost structure. So the idea here is to give the customers an answer to this question. Okay, why should I buy this product better than the product of my competitors, of the competitors? Give reasons for this. For example, brands like Montblanc, Mercedes, or iPhone would follow this overall positioning strategy. And let's say Ryanair would follow this. Okay, less for much less, or maybe the same for less. No, but probably less for much less. And a positioning statement. This is like a summary of the positioning and differentiation strategy. So this is like a combination of sentences, typically 4, that has this structure. So 2, and here you should write your target segment and the need you are satisfying for this target segment. Then write your brand name, and then is, and here you should write, the concept, the idea of your product, and the most important claim. The most important reason why your consumers should buy your brand. And then here, because give an explanation, okay, give a support or give a point of difference or a single most important support why your consumers should believe that you are going to deliver them this that you are promising here. So here we have some examples. BlackBerry, probably if you are very young, you don't remember BlackBerry, but it was like the star of the smartphones and a pioneer in the smartphone industry. They had or could have this positioning statement to busy mobile professionals who needed to always be in the loop because they were targeting executives and professionals that traveled frequently. The BlackBerry is the best wireless connectivity solution because it gives you an easier and more reliable way to stay connected to data, people, and resources while on the go. So here you define the target, busy and mobile professionals. Here the need to be always in the loop, to be connected always. Then the BlackBerry is the brand name. Then this is, the reason why these consumers should buy you, because it's the best wireless connectivity solution. And here is like the support for this claim, okay? Why is the best wireless connectivity solution? Because it gives you an easier and more reliable way to stay connected to data, to people in your business, and also other resources while on the go. And here, these are print ads of BlackBerry at that time. Okay? So mobilize your team, mesmerize your boss. Amazon could have this positioning statement for wide web users, internet users who enjoy, well, books. I mean, this is probably quite old. Books and other products. Amazon is the online bookseller that provides instant access for over 30 million books. You can change book for every product category. And this still is true and provides a combination of extraordinary convenience, service, and low prices, and also a comprehensive selection. Okay, then once you have all this, the positioning statement is something internal that is that guides, should guide all the policy, the marketing policy or the marketing program. Okay, but once you have this, you have to communicate and to deliver this to the target market. Okay, and then for this you need communication, and you need also, I mean, delivering in what sense? That once you have selected your position, I mean, all the marketing mix variables, not only communication, must be used to implement this positioning. Okay, so all the piece, the brand name, in the case of Duracell, communicates clearly the main benefit. I mean, the product package should be in the line, in the same line. It's gold and black that suggest superior quality. The communication, like the ads we saw, and the price. I mean, the price should be higher, because if it is not higher, probably your customers will not believe that you are better or that you are better. So here we have an example, the case Smart 42. So that could be a positioning map of the microcar market before the entrance of the Smart 42. So there were like different models, like the Toyota Yaris or the Suzuki Swift and so on, that could be positioned in 2 dimensions. I mean, small or big, and then economy and non-economy. Then Mercedes decided to enter into this market, not with its own brand, but with a different brand name. And then they, I mean, this is like the summary of their marketing strategy. Okay, so for young urban people, this is a target market who want to move around cities. So this is the need. The Smart Fortune is the easiest to drive and park, safest and most efficient, which offers image and quality. And why? Because of its Mercedes German engineering and advanced technology. Okay, so this is the positioning statement. And then they decided to occupy this position, okay, to be smaller than anyone and to be less economical than anyone in the price of purchase mainly. So this is the car, okay. So, and these are examples of communication. Here they clearly, I mean, the message is that they occupy the Smart to occupy a much smaller space than competitors. And here you can watch by yourself this safety video, which is quite also impressive, okay, on how they communicate that. And also this. Okay, so now you could do this activity. It's optional, so you could form a small group of students, maybe 2, or you even can do it by yourselves. And you should create an idea for a new reality show on TV. This is also a product, okay? And then using the form provided in the chapter, try to develop a positioning statement for this television show. So you have to define clearly the target market and the need you are going to satisfy for this target market. And then, I mean, the main benefit you are going to offer to this target market. And I mean, and the reasons why consumers should believe that you are going to provide this benefit. Okay. what competitive advantage does the show have over existing shows, and how many and which ones differences you would promote. So try to do this exercise. Actually, we will do an activity of chapter 7 in which you will have to do something similar by groups. We will do that in class. Okay, and finally, the last section of the chapter is this. I'm going to stop now.